everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Wizard Cares Life. Wizard Kid here. Now, I'm going to start off with telling a story. We're actually currently at the Comboyne Park. You're welcome. Might do it this way. Ooh. Alright, I'm on the swing. So, hang on, give me a minute. I think that's better. I think I just zoomed out. Let me find this story. Found it. I don't know how this is going to work, but we'll get there. Alright, the story is the wolf side of the story. As in the Three Little Pigs. A wolf took the stand today in his own defence. This shocked and stunned the media, who predicted that he would not testify in the brutal double murder trial. A wolf is accused of killing and eating the first little pig and the second little pig. This criminal trial is expected to be followed by a civil trial to be brought by the surviving third little pig. The case has been characterised as a media circus. His testimony is transcribed below. Let me fix up the book. Give me a minute. Got it. Alright, we swing a bit further, more. Better. Hope that's better. Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs. Or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Ooh, girl. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not our fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. It's better. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. Had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbour for a cup of sugar. Now, this neighbour was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He'd built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in their right mind would build a house of straw? So of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house. So I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Oh, girl. Ooh. Alright. Well, I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed a great sneeze. And you know what? The whole damn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He'd been home the whole time. Seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a cheeseburger, just lying there. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbour's house. The neighbour was the first little pig's brother. Oh, girl. The neighbour, the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He has built his house of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled. Sorry, turn the page. It's 2 pages. Go away, wolf. You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my shinny chin. I just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. Getting there. And you are not going to believe this, but the guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honour. Now, you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better. And I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He'd built his house of bricks. I knocked on the brick house, no answer. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what that rude little porky answered? Get out of here, Wolf, don't bother me again. Sorry, give me a minute. Alright. And do you know what that rude little porky answered? Get out of here, Wolf, don't bother me again. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar and he wouldn't give me even one little cup for my dear sweet old granny's birthday cake. What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed once again. Then the third little pig yelled, and your old granny can sit on a pin. Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fella, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course I was trying to break down this pig store, and the whole time I was huffing and puffing, sneezing and making a real scene. The rest, as I say, is history. The news reporters found out about the two pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to buy a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So jazzed up the story with all that huff and puff and blow your house down. They made me the big bad wolf. That's it, the real story. I was framed.